I absolutely hate being cold, but this morning in particular, I'm pretty sure it was worth it. I had no idea snow was going to be on Bryce Canyon during this sunrise, and I'm really glad that I actually went and rolled out of bed to go capture it, because it was a stunning morning. I even stuck around to get some smaller detail shots of some of these amazing rock formations down in the Bryce Valley.
So I'm in Utah, Grand Staircase area, hike, exact location, kind of unknown. My first time being out here and wanted to find something that was a little more like classic, I think, to Utah. So I chose this one and it was fun. Conference went well. All of my panel discussions are done. So it's good to have a breather. If you're ever interested in going to an outsiders conference, definitely do that because it was really fun and a lot of great photographers. Meeting a lot of people was very inspiring and honestly a humbling experience as well. What I'm looking for here though are patterns, interesting rock formations that are unique to Utah and the desert Southwest really. And just looking for interesting ways to compose those. One of the things that I've been doing for my own enjoyment of photography and just photography in general is getting back to how I used to shoot with just no predisposition on weather, not worrying about what it's going to be like, and then just going out for the fun of it. And I did it this morning. I went to Bryce Canyon and shot out there. Had no idea that it had snowed overnight, and that was a really nice surprise to see. So I'm interested to see what today holds. We have some interesting storm clouds. It's nice, 70 degrees, and yeah, hopefully we find something to shoot.
If you've never taken photos in the desert, let me just tell you it's absolutely insane. Once you get past the idea that it's just an arid wasteland, you start to see multiple compositions that you can photograph. And it's a bit overwhelming because your eyes are bouncing around so much that it's hard to focus on one thing.
You know, I've talked about it on the channel before when I went out to Joshua Tree, but it's almost like every single time that I do come out to the Southwest, I relate it almost to culture shock because this type of landscape is unlike anything else that I shoot. So when I get out here, it's difficult to see what could compose a good shot. Ooh, windy. But also you see the subject or you see the foreground and they're disjointed and it's hard to find like that fit between the two. And I'm dealing with it right now. Like there's a lot of good foregrounds, there's a lot of good subjects, a lot of great subjects, but overall, it's tough to find something that I think could work together for a good photograph, but I'm honestly just not too sure. And when I get into this situation, I start to lack confidence. I start to question myself, and I'm struggling with that right now. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that too, but could be just me. But I'm kind of just looking around. I'm well before sunset. Who knows if there will be a sunset? I don't know. Kind of just figuring it out right now. But that's what you kind of got to do is you come out a little bit early, find something that could work, and try to put it together to make something that's cohesive and understandable. Hopefully, at least.
leaving enough time before the sun actually set allowed me to play around with a lot of these rock designs and formations, and also the white striations on the rocks themselves. This one looked like a lightning bolt to me, and it's fun for me to just make up stories about things that I'm photographing. You know, this photograph too, it took me back to a book that I read called A Wrinkle in Time, because you have all these layers of time in the Earth's crust, and then you get this stark wrinkle that goes down the center of them. It took me back to all this idea of books that I read when I was little. And then this last photograph, if you've never tried to make a sun star, it's really simple. Just F16, wait for that sun to hit the horizon line.
So lately, my wide angle has been like my enemy in photography. I can't see anything with it. Not like it's broken, I just can't see a composition come together, specifically out here, but I haven't at home really either. Out here, for the most part, telephoto has been my main friend. And you know, the weather's constantly changing, the light's changing all the time. What I'm trying to do with the telephoto is use the light that's available instead of wanting a different kind of light, you know, side light against a shadow, or shadow and highlight together, backlight with a sun star. Just different ideas I have looking around here and what could possibly happen. But I know we come to locations and always think about that one shot, you know, why you want to go to a place. But predominantly, I think creativity comes from being able to react and adapt to what the light is doing. Seeing a shot come together and breaking away from that shot that you may have pigeonholed in your mind of what a location can provide you with. And that's kind of what I'm doing today. Just talking, like I see possible compositions that I want to work with here right now.
If we're just talking about light, this was my favorite photograph of the day, because you get this amazing glow on the back canyon wall with layers and textures occurring behind the hoodoo subject. That's really not photographed that often at this location. I also spent some time creating some detail shots of the layers on the hoodoos themselves to capture that. And then I kind of gravitated towards the most popular area in this location, and that's this amazing scene of texture in the foreground and then red rock in the background.
So I really have two ways of thinking about if you're struggling like I was today, of not feeling a certain lens or struggling with a composition. And mine was specifically with a wide angle lens. You know, the first thing I do is tell people to put it away and just forget it, go with the lens that's working for you. That doesn't always work. Like today, I didn't really feel like that was the right approach. So you have to feel it out sometimes. The second thing is just shoot it to death. Beat the dead horse of trying to get that shot. And what I found was breaking out of that box that my mind was already in and finding little designs in the rocks and patterns and shapes. And I found things like lightning bolts and just swirls with these white patterns on the rocks out here in the desert. And then lastly, I found a really cool rock formation that I shot directly into. The sun is right behind it. So you're shooting directly into the sun. So I blended two exposures, did a foreground exposure and then a sky exposure to get a really nice sun star and a really deep blue sky with the deep red rocks that are here. And I think those two color combinations will go really well together, but I don't know what the rest of the evening holds, you know. Looks like clouds may block sunset. It's getting pretty dark on the horizon right now, but light's soft, and soft light is fun light. And you know, who knows if I'll stay for sunset. I think my approach to photography right now is just fun. You know, photography's not supposed to be this beat your head against the wall activity. It's just fun. Like, photography is just fun.
I decided to stay for sunset, and I'm really glad I did, because this is one of the best desert landscape shots that I've ever created before. And this photo is great, but the experience just hanging out with other photographers shooting sunset was even better. It's so fun to get out with other people. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've provided a video for you that I think you'll find really interesting. You can click on that right now and feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. I'll see you next week.